So as I was saying, today we're talking about 4 different kinds of poems that we're going to see while we're reading Bronx Masquerade. Most of you should have already seen these 4 poems, or 4 types of poems. So we're going to talk about them as we go. The first part of today's lesson is going to be talking about concrete poems. Now I've already mentioned concrete poems to you a couple of times. One poem in particular, you remember which poem it was that's a concrete poem?
Yes.
Which one? Yeah, the one in the shape of a Z, Zorro, the one that Raoul wrote. A concrete poem, when we were back in elementary, they were called shape poems. And basically, here's the definition for it. You don't have to write this word for word, but I want something like this in your vocabulary notebook under concrete poem. It's arranged in a pattern on the page that helps the reader understand it a little bit better in some way. This particular one that's up here, the name of the poem is just Tree. Believe it or not, this counts as a poem. It's not really the kind of poem that I would consider a poem, but it is. And you can see that it's a tree, right? The shape of it is a tree. Do you get that at the bottom? Those last 2 lines. What does the last 2 lines say?
Rosses.
Rick Ross.
R-O-O-T-S-Y-S-T-E-M-S. Root system. Or root systems. Sorry. So that's supposed to be looking like the roots of the tree branching out under the ground. Like the ground would be right here, and all of this is what's underground. Make sense?
Yes.
Now, I have other concrete poems that I can show you as well. There was a poem that I wrote several years ago that, this is just one of the lines out of it. The rest of the poem was just a regular poem, but this line, rain is falling down and the river is rising high. The word falling actually looks kind of like raindrops coming down, streaking down. And then when you get to the S and rising, it's almost like waves of water coming back up. I thought it was cool. Students that I taught that year thought it was cool. I don't know if you like it or not. But anyway, the rest of the poem was just a regular poem, but this line was in a concrete form because the way that it looks on the page helps you understand the word falling. Rain is coming down, big drops, and then the water is rising over here when the river is rising and flooding. Of course, the example that we already mentioned, Zorro, it's on page 22 in Bronx Masquerade, and all the books are still up here, so I assume that you know which poem I'm talking about, right? Okay. This is another poem, another concrete poem. It's about a star. Could you guess that without even reading it?
Yes.
Yeah, you could. It's in the shape of a star. And it's actually fairly easy to read until you get right here when it says hopes and dreams. The first part of dream is here and it continues over here. Their twinkle assures us that very thing will be alright. And then it has T down here and AR here. Now, I don't know who wrote this poem. I've not been able to find the author for it, but I can tell that it's somebody that has some spelling issues because there's several words in there that aren't quite spelled correctly. But the fact that they've got it separated might make, yeah, amazement's one of them, I believe. Alright should be 2 separate words instead of combined together. Other than that. But it's still a good example of a concrete poem. What about this one?
A dog.
The name of it is Concrete Cat.
Is a cat
A rabbit.
The words are
What's that?
Do you know? No, I thought you were
Did it?
king around
Yes,
with
it's upside down.
Okay, we've got 2 different opinions about the mouse. Is the mouse just dead or is it pooped back out?
Back out.
Back out.
Does it really matter?
Yes.
Back out.
Okay. Can y'all visualize that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's why I said don't trip over the projector when you come in, because I was trying to have it lined up here. And you see it's not quite lined up anymore. You can kind of, now you know why I'm not an artist, right? This is a concrete poem that I had in one of my college classes. It's in one of my college textbooks that I have up here. And if you're interested, I also have another one called Swan and Shadow that I'll pass this book around and you can look at it, okay? I'll let y'all go ahead and start
Please
passing
excuse
it
the
around.
interruption. I'll remind sixth grade students who auditioned for band yesterday, you are all to meet in the band room at the beginning of Connection. All those who auditioned for band, meet in the band room at the beginning of Connection this afternoon. Thank you.
Okay. The name of this one is ampersand. And for those of you that don't know, do you know the symbol? It means and, but the name of the symbol is ampersand. Same as like the dot at the end of a sentence, the name of that symbol is period. And an exclamation point. That's the name of the symbol. The name of this one is ampersand. And the way that you start reading this would be from here, the way that it would be drawn. So I'm going to read this one to you. An and is simply an and, but an ampersand is much more grand. So here's a concrete poem that actually has rhyme in it as well. It's a really short one, but the way that it looks on the page actually tells you, if you don't know what the word ampersand is, the poem tells you that it means the same as and the shape reminds you that that's what it is. Okay? Alright, that's the end of part one. Can my camera tech person turn off the camera? As I said, Swan and Shadow is being passed around.